This Adele Nancy's,
I don't think John knows the number. I'm surprised.
Oh, it's live stream. How does this work?
Oh.
Staying at the meeting.
what a surprise, people.
Just right, got
Oh.
it.
Yes, I got it.
Got it.
Got it.
How you doing
Got
today?
it. Yes. Okay, doke, guys. Well, we have a beautiful group of people here.
This is going to be live stream, so other people are going to see.
So
So you guys stay PG.
so
It's okay.
So you want to come over and get introduced? I have a very special person
No,
here.
that's close enough.
No,
Hey,
it's
stop.
not. It's not close enough for you to be seen.
Oh, yeah, sure it is.
This is my
What's up,
son.
Uncle?
Hey, hello,
It's my
Jay.
son.
Hello, John.
Oh, there he is. No, yours slides in.
He's from.
Who's that guy next to you there?
This is my beloved son.
A long time no see.
Yeah.
Long time for me no see too.
It's really
wow.
great to have you here, John.
Thank you.
And
Nice
perhaps
to see the little lady.
Hi. Oh, hello, cutie.
Oh, other intruders.
hello there. Who's that cutie? It's Carol.
My grandson.
Hi, grandson. Have I seen you in church with us?
Yeah.
Carol and I were very special in. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. It happens if you live long enough and you have a grandchild.
Oh,
Carol and I were these steady people at the mass until COVID came. We were
Oh, yeah.
one pew behind each other for years. And now she takes my temperature when I come into the church on Sundays.
We want water, Chuck?
Yeah.
In that.
And we have a nice spacious church situation. There's not many people inside, so it's quite safe.
Give it this a little.
Oh,
Can you get the flowers better?
yeah, you want to
I
get the
can sit back
flowers?
here.
Okay.
I only seen that in the.
I look at that beautiful bouquet of flowers. Phil, that was from Phil, and he came this afternoon.
little bit.
This is better.
Yeah. Oh, he's disappeared out the door here, practically.
I can
Oh.
hear everything just
Well,
fine.
we can see your little
I
head.
know, that's good enough.
No, it's not very good. I don't think so. But in any case, I'm so pleased to have you, Brian. But I met Brian for the 40th anniversary, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was just doing the math. Since we're celebrating,
Oh,
it was 32 years ago that a high school English teacher, she wasn't an English teacher. She read Hope for the Flowers to our senior class. And I always thought about that book. And when I taught for 15 years in Louisville, Kentucky, I would reference the book and bring it out from time to time.
Just down here.
And then I went and did my doctorate and moved to Stratford, Connecticut, and teach at Fairfield University, a Jesuit institution. And the Sandy Hook Newtown tragedy occurred. And my instinct was, I got to contact somebody and do something. And so I contacted Trina, and the next thing I knew, we were raising money, and we distributed around 600 books to teachers and counselors and hospitals
Oh,
and
yes. Hi, Trina.
and mosques all over the region.
Are you
and-
able to hear him? This is
Yeah.
Brian. He just gave away 6,600 books at the time of the
Yeah.
Newtown Massacre.
And so when Una contacted me today to say, "Are you coming to the 90th?" I was like, "She can't be 90 because that means I'm turning 50." Oh, it is true. Yeah. So yeah, what a pleasure. I would not miss this for the world, because when I think of the soul work that I've been able to do as an educator, I think of Hope for the Flowers, and I'm very thankful for that book.
That's beautiful. Una is actually with us. She's over on the YouTube. I sent her the Zoom link, but she says her Zoom is not working. So she's watching live. So she is here, and she's participating in the chat box. Liz Lockley is here. Happy birthday, Trina. Carolyn Vidala, hello. Happy blessed birthday, dear Pamela Lewis. And Laura Kaplan, hi Trina. Happy birthday, dear Trina. I'm here. So
I hope we
got
can
some
keep
folks
that
chiming in
chat,
from
then
YouTube. And And if you are on YouTube and you would like to join us on the Zoom, I am going to put in an email that you can reach out to, and I'm happy to give you the link.
Okay, and I want to introduce the people in my upper right screen. That's my brother and my wonderful sister-in-law, Gay Paulus, in
I-
Seattle,
I'm-
Washington.
I'm not gay. My wife's name is Gay. My name is John. So keep that.
Okay.
I did say it was your wife, I thought, in any case. In any
Well,
case, Marty,
We got that.
this fellow is an
It's labeled,
engineer.
it's
so he
labeled
also-
with somebody else's name from what I was on. So I just like to be sure I
Okay,
don't cause confusion. And I like to say that I've met Scott before. Jihad.
Hello,
and that's
John.
The only people I think we've met.
Is this Scott?
never each other.
Then he's like,
Okay, he's from West Seattle.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Scott lives near, and I was with Scott. I stayed with him. He gave me hospitality when Gay and John had their 50th wedding anniversary, which was a really big deal. 50 years. And now they've hung in there together. So that's really very beautiful. And they're
You
inspiration to
put
me.
up with me is what you're saying. Right.
Not what I said. I said the two of you have been a great example to me of a beautiful marriage. Thank you so much. And so,
Well, let me introduce myself. I'm 2 years Trina's junior. I grew up in her shadow.
making a mess.
Well, there are some things in life that we don't agree on. But I really admire what she has accomplished on her own. I knew her as an outstanding artist, sculptor way back when. And when I heard that my older sister was going to write a book on hope, my eyes rolled. I thought, what? My gosh, Trina's going to write a book. My goodness. And I am so pleased with what turned out and the influence it's had on the rest of the world. So I have to congratulate.
thank you, John. Coming from family, that's pretty important, you know, that's not always the case, is it, folks? So families can be some of the toughest people around.
Yeah.
So my son is trying to get rid of some noisy
stuff.
noisy
Just
figures. So
making
that's where the
right.
noise is coming from right now.
Just do your thing. I got it.
Get rid of that. Just can go
That's mine.
outside.
Don't
Can
worry
go
about
outside. And so, okay. And the other people here, I think I introduced Carol. And there's Gabby. There's Gabby.
Happy birthday, Trina. Happy
Thank you.
birthday.
Thank you. And Gabby is the Marisol's wonderfully articulate, creative daughter who is a musician. And so I'm very happy to have her in my life as well. And I don't know, Marisol says she can handle the chats, but she,
Don't do that. You could hurt yourself.
what did you
Love you,
say?
Trina. Love you.
Thank you. Okay, and then there's Phil. Phil, I think you're calling from your camper in
Pennsylvania.
Oh,
okay,
cool.
why don't you say who you are? You're important in my life too.
Well, I'm Phil Yursh. I met Trina up at the Grail in New York State, visiting there with my cousin, and we became quick friends, and very soon traveled across country to Colorado to the Central Rocky Mountain Permaculture Institute, and got involved with the local organization called the Cornucopia Network of New Jersey, which promotes local, healthy, and safe food. And I've been the president 2 different times and am the current president of that organization right now. And Trina's been, if I recall, the vice president for so many years, almost maybe since its beginning.
Yes.
And Trina was the inspiration for getting me involved with learning about permaculture and helping to be a catalyst and to facilitate a trip that I took trip that I took back in the early 90s to Nepal, India, and Thailand. And in Nepal, working with Cynthia Edwards, learning all about permaculture and visiting the permaculture farms in Nepal, and going with her to India to teach groups about permaculture as well. And Trina and I now have been friends for more than 30 years. And she has been, as I had said to her in a note today, she's been a gift in my life. And I've been so pleased that we had that accidental meeting up at the Grail way back when.
So thank you, Phil. You've been a gift in my life too. So, and then,
Trina,
yeah,
I met you by a way of your sculptor when I was in my 20s.
yes,
Someone I dated, someone from my home state of North Dakota, had the sculpture of Adsum, and I just fell in love with it. Where is Adsum?
He's reaching for one.
She must have one.
Oh, yeah.
I do right here.
We just picked up more yesterday.
Oh, yes, and we've given that as wedding gifts, and so have some others.
It's
And,
interesting that this simple statue is the best-selling one I've ever made.
Yeah, it's a treasure. I just,
Very simple.
yeah, I fell in love with it, and I just gifted someone else, a dear friend, with it.
Well, thank you, because it's,
Yeah.
This girl I met out here in Seattle already knew about my sister back east there through that statue.
Yeah, long before I met him.
because of the statue, okay. Now it's mostly because of Hope for the Flowers, but not the statue. And I see,
Now, Hope for the Flowers was not too long after that, and our second son, Steve, I remember when he was about 4, I'm not sure what year Hope came out.
92, 72, yeah.
Okay,
Good
Steve
years.
was born in 67, and that's the same year we moved in here. And I remember when we got our copy, I read it to Steve one night, and I got partway through it. It touched him. He just started to cry, tear up, and he didn't want any more read of it. And then the next night, Mama finished the story. And so he let me
That's nice.
finish reading the story to him, and then it satisfied him.
Usually kids cry when Stripe leaves yellow,
Yeah, that was it.
and then she's desolate without him.
Yeah, so
Very sad part.
Hope had a big spot in Steve's heart.
Well, he wrote me today. He sent me a
Oh,
happy
okay.
birthday email.
Oh, nice, nice.
So
Yeah.
I have to thank those. I haven't had time today, obviously, to do that kind of online work.
Oh,
I
I'm
see
sure.
somebody at the bottom here, Susan Rich. Hello, Susan.
Hi, Trina. I'm sorry I'm late, but I just want to wish you a happy 90th. And Trina, I just hope that when I reach 90, I have as much energy as you, my sister. Happy.
Thank you very much, Susan. Susan is one of the key people in my parish and is a coordinator of lots of stuff all over the archdiocese here. And gosh, thank you, Susan. Okay, and Nancy is also, I know, from my parish. So there's 3 of my church people basically here.
Hmm.
And so,
Oh, you gotta count Marisol too.
yeah, of course, that's 4 then. 4. So
Five.
Nancy and I are buddies.
That's my,
She writes this wonderful column that's available for anybody who wants to subscribe on peace and justice issues that can go into church bulletins, and it's not copyrighted, so people can use it or take part of it and just use it as they wish. And it's for ordinary people in the pews. And so it's really very good for churches, and it's not more than 1 page. It's usually less than 1 page. And Nancy does that, and she hopes that some of us will read it over and support her in that effort. That's a weekly effort. That's a big
Yes, it
deal. Whether it's about peace in Afghanistan or justice or equality or whatever the issue is right now. She's right on the ball with all that stuff. And her husband is Egyptian, which of course I have great affinity for. And so does my son, who's half Egyptian.
Half Egyptian.
And the name jihad, we both found it difficult as life went on. But 47 years ago, when he was born, I was very accepting of his father's desire to name him that, because it really means to give yourself for your belief in life, which is very important for all of us to do. We're all on one of those searches, those inner spiritual searches, which is the heart of that meaning. So are you growling over here,
Yeah.
John? He's growling. He's tired of the subject, but it's good for people who don't know this to know that that's,
No, it's
but
irrelevant.
it's not irrelevant to me, because
Yeah,
the word
it's
is
right now, yeah.
suffered into.
Jihad, I'll take you off the hook by saying, let's get this party started. I'm going to share my screen, okay? So
Oh.
hang on, folks.
Thank you.
You're
Okay,
very
I just mentioned
welcome.
one thing oh, okay.
Is this from the earlier?
Already
Is it
started.
But this is
Two
the
different
story.
videos?
This is the story of my.
Hold on a second. I don't know if you can hear anything. Can you hear anything?
Yes,
Hear you.
we
only
can hear
heard
you.
her. No,
Hold on then. I gotta
can't hear the videos.
reshare. Hold on.
Steve and Danny aren't here.
Marisol, while you're
Let's
doing that, I
see.
just wanted to tell people, oh, no, probably not.
Nope. Hold on, folks. Sorry about this. Technical difficulties, of course.
It's all good.
Yeah. No, my husband told me today that Taliban means student. I thought that was interesting.
Okay, this should work now, for sure. Everybody seeing here?
Without butterflies, the world will have few flowers, so grow your wings and fly. Feed the plants and float by the river, and we'll be here by your side.
Make great choices and take big risks if they're good for you and the rainforest. Sing really loud and don't be afraid. You are the stuff of which butterflies are made. Hope, hope, hope for the flowers. Transform, embrace and realize your power. El bosque le necesita para vivir. Hope, hope, hope for the flowers. Transform, embrace and realize your power. El bosque le necesita para vivir. Sometimes the pile that everyone's a climbing up seems like the shiniest thing. But look in the eyes of the others you've been stepping on and wake to the light of all beings. Hope, hope, hope for the flowers. Transform, embrace and realize your power. El bosque le necesita para vivir. Flowers transform, embrace and realize your power. El bosque le necesita para vivir.
settling down on a cherry blossom tree. It took a while for you to get here. You've become the butterfly you always wanted to be. Started off so tiny, little caterpillar. You've left your home so very soon. Day by day you grow a little more to find yourself a shelter made of silk, the cocoon. Some stay longer, others move on as they can. But don't feel threatened, it's some others, not your plan. You go through changes right exactly where you are. The day will come, you'll break the shell, unfold your wings and fly. Don't you ever think you remain unnoticed, 'cause you were meant to shine. Now you're on your way to put smiles on people's faces, no matter where you appear. You gently swing your colors through fields and skies, dancing with other butterflies, kissing the flowers passing by. Some stay longer, others move on as they can. But don't feel threatened, it's some others, not your plan. You go through changes right exactly where you are. The day will come, you'll break the shell, unfold your wings and fly. Don't you ever think you'll remain unnoticed, 'cause you were meant to shine.
A lot of people will join our kaleidoscope at the fly to Mexico. Let's bring home the flowers. Lots of people. You know there's enough room in the sky for everyone.
Butterfly, come and sit down with me. Pause for a while, realize that you are me. Enjoy that you are here and feel free to fly. The gift that you have been given, don't hide it, don't be shy. Happy birthday, caterpillar, you've become a butterfly. Butterfly. It took a while, so fly. Fly.
Thank
Nice
you.
work, Marisol.
Thank you, Marisol.
Bravo,
Happy, happy,
Marisol.
happy birthday, Trina.
Thank
Happy
you.
birthday, Trina.
Boy, that was quite a work she did in the last
Yeah, it
couple
was
of days.
beautiful.
How did she get all that together? She asked me for some pictures, but she obviously had a bunch already. My gosh, Marisol, thank you. I hope you
What-
can recover from this effort.
I'm fine, Trina. I'm good.
I think we are all impressed with what you've done and appreciative of it.
Aw,
You're
thank
welcome.
you.
Thank
It is
you.
a labor of love and my honor.
Well,
Definitely.
she's my
Well,
technical
I
buddy.
I want us all to hold a virtual cupcake, a fake one or whatever, because this afternoon we didn't get to sing happy birthday to you. We left without doing it at noontime. So I am bound and determined not to allow that to happen again. So happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Trina.
Happy birthday to you and many more.
Happy birthday, Trina.
And it's okay to have a
Happy birthday.
It's okay to have a cacophony and such a thing. Oh, look at Jihad brought me. This was a gift.
It's gonna blow out.
Oh.
Make a wish, young lady.
Well, I wished for 10 vibrant years.
You're not supposed to tell them.
Oh, you're that.
Wish what?
10 vibrant years.
10 vibrant working years. Yes.
Ah.
Get my new books out and get the house cleaned up.
You
And
know, quit worrying about the house.
so,
All that in 10 years, huh?
by the way, this is a very special little cupcake. Yesterday, the person who organized our Aging in Montclair group came by with these cupcakes to give to people. And she went around to the 6 people in our small Aging in Montclair group and gave them each a cupcake like this that we could have as a party. And so they came and they blew it out and they had the candles. And so we had this one left. And so here I am. So I'll blow it out
Oh, there's
now.
another candle. Look at that. You want two, eh?
Yay! Happy
Oh,
yeah!
Happy birthday.
So you're welcome. So thank you so much. What a lovely time here. And there's people on the chat, Marisol. Do we want to hear any more from them?
Yes.
There.
In the meantime, we are not, this afternoon we played Trina's Qigong video and she did a beautiful job, but it took a lot of time. So we're going to let Trina talk about Qigong on this one. And anyone who wants to see it, we'll make sure that it's available on YouTube.
And put a link on the chat too, right? Okay.
It'll be on the YouTube channel for sure.
Okay. The Qigong is, I feel so grateful during this COVID year to have had such help. Number one, to our little team of basically Marisol and Scott and Sam. Sam is a guy behind the scenes. He doesn't like to be on video, and Mary Z is another person behind the scenes who doesn't like to have her picture taken. So we have 2 people like that. And my son is almost in that category. So anyhow.
Trina, I'm going to read off just really quick. There's Sherry Neal. So happy to be here. Love, love, love you, Trina. Pamela Lewis, love, love, love you so much. From me and our Monarch friends, you are my inspiring, precious friend for over 24 years. Sherry wants to know, where can we purchase a statue of Trina's and the t-shirts? Pamela Lewis says, I have 60 plus milkweed plants in our front yard because of your milkweed gift and 2 caterpillar babies. Pamela Lewis says, God bless you always. And Marae says, dear Trina, Marae here, happy birthday, love you. Carolyn Vidala says, yes, awesome, happy birthday. The music was stunning. Mary, oh, Mary's here. Una singing, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you. Sentiani from Carolyn Vidala, happy birthday to you from Lori Swenson. Lori says, I have been very busy and forgot to send in a greeting, but I love you and hope for the flowers and the wonderful person you are and the beautiful things you have created. Linda Lombry, happy birthday, Trina. Looking forward to your 100th birthday in 10 years. Love the video. Great job, Marisol. Thank you, Linda. And that's what's happening over here at the chat.
This point. Okay, thanks so much, everybody. Marisol asked me to say something about Qigong. One of the great supports for me during COVID was when my Tai Chi practice stopped at the library because they closed the library. As we know, all those buildings closed with the COVID thing. And so Marisol knew about Spring Forest Qigong because it helped through some very hard health issues in her life. And so she got me onto it. And it's a wonderful program. And maybe she can say a bit more about it too, because she's been on it longer. But I decided to take that up, and I was going to decide to give it as a present, but we decided it was a little too long. We did it this afternoon, but you can get it online if you want it. And my version, but I don't recommend my version. I really recommend that you get on the Hope for the Flowers daily exercise, which in the Eastern United States is at 9 in the morning. And that means that you're with people from all around the world, which is very beautiful, and it's very relaxing and very uplifting and helps with your health in a very simple way. You can just stand in front of your computer and do the work with these different people of all nationalities, all different places in the world, all colors, all different races. It's just a wonderful, wonderful program. And I just love doing it. And a couple of the people who are on this, the other part of the video that were just on the YouTube channel are people who are joining on that one. Marisol and I do it. And so I recommend it as a peaceful thing that everybody can do. And the idea is good, better, best. When Marisol started, she couldn't even lift her hands practically. But you can do it lying down. You can do it in your mind even, or go through the efforts. You can do it sitting, and most of us do it standing when we can. And I usually do it standing and following the leader. And it's a 5-day week thing. I mean, it's 5 days of the week, Monday through Friday. And it goes to 5 elements. And it's a different central exercise each of those days, but they all have this, each of the different practitioners and experts do basically the same thing. So you get to know it pretty well. And you get the different touches of different people's approaches to things. It's very beautiful. And you feel that you're around the world. You can get on at other times of the day, but you don't, but I like to get on at 9 when I can, so that I just have that sense of people around the world doing the same thing at the same time, honoring the password's very beautiful. I am in the universe. The universe is in my body. The universe and I combine as one. That's pretty neat. So anyhow, I think I'm echoing. I feel like I'm echoing. Are you echoing for you? I'm echoing.
I hear something, but it's not on our end. I muted my mics and to make sure it wasn't.
It sounds on my end when I talk. Now it's not. Wasn't just now, but okay. So Marisol, how do you see this evening going? You want to do something further?
Excuse me. Yeah, we wanted to hear more about Hope, about how Hope was born. Hope is 50th. We're celebrating your 90th, absolutely. But we also have to remember that Yellow and Stripe have an anniversary too. So some of us would love your story. And I know some of the people on YouTube and folks who are going to be watching the replay, they want to find out how these caterpillars came to be and this whole story of Hope, and how did you even come up with it? How long did it take to write it? What was your inspiration? There's so many questions. Before we do, I'm going to quick go to the chat again, because I see it's moving around a lot here. And we have Pamela Lewis says that the video is a magical tribute and she loves your tiara. You look gorgeous. Daniel's here again. Daniel's son, Dan. He's sending a bunch of hearts. Mary Lou says happy and hope-filled birthday. Love seeing the video. Many more. Carla Anglada, happy birthday, Trina, from Lillian Quintana de Anglada. I remember our youth when you wore the tent dresses with a belt around it and went to the art center. Oh, we want to know more about those tent dresses too, Trina.
I don't know what she's talking about, really. But Lillian is a special friend of mine who's now back in her hometown of Taos, New Mexico. She was very special in the art center with me at Grailville years ago. So thank you, Lillian, for being on this Zoom. I'm really grateful for your friendship over these many, many years. I haven't seen her for many years. So that's the way it is. in life, but some friends are for there forever. And she's one of those.
So Trina, tell us how Hope for the Flowers was born.
Well, some of you know this pretty well, but anyhow.
Remember, there's going to be people on the replay who don't know.
Okay. What happened is that I was living my life at the Grail, and we were living a very Catholic life that was very much centered in going back to the full Christian roots of the way Jesus acted. So it was Catholic, but it was also very imbued in deep relationship to the earth. And so the liturgy and the earth and the light and darkness cycle and the death and life cycle and all those beautiful earth cycles and the harvest cycle, which we're in right now, were all part of our life. And it was just such a magnificent educational experience. So that's my son's something. One of those.
Oh, stick.
Yeah, one of his phones, the way he has it set. Okay, so in that's the way it was back when, and it's out of this life that when the Vatican II came by, perhaps that was John the 23rd, this nice roly-poly, wonderful, friendly Pope came by and said, we have to open the windows around here and let some fresh air in because we've gotten pretty stuffy in this church. So he called the Second Vatican Council, and all these bishops met together, and that's when the Mass came from Latin into English and all this kind of stuff. Well, everything Catholic was going through huge upheavals. And so I wrote this book called Hope for the Flowers. No, it wasn't called Hope for the Flowers. It was a theology of hope based on the work of Teilhard de Chardin, who is this wonderful, wonderful scientist, Jesuit, who is probably the reason that the Catholic Church has no problem with evolution. We just don't have a problem with it. God can create in so many ways. And we don't know exactly how it all happened, but certainly not in 6 days, just, which is a wonderful story, but didn't have to happen just that way. But I was working with this vision of upward and forward and the vision of Teilhard de Chardin. And one of those pictures in the book is me saying this next to my friend Russ, who was sitting on the couch. And this was published in our paper as friends. We were good friends. And so this was a picture of me saying upward and forward, which was the vision of Teilhard. So out of that came the theology of hope in 1965. So then I graduated from college at Ohio State, and then I went off to Egypt and was there helping develop a women's cooperative. And then in 1967, in June, the Six-Day War came. And I was evacuated then in the middle of the war. And I ended up in Paris for 2 years. Well, I found my book, my manuscript in a closet there in the Paris office, which was our international center. So I started carrying with me. When I came back, and I was at a booth at the liturgical week, and a priest from Paulus Press came back, and I said, do you ever read manuscripts? He said, well, give it to me. And I read it in my hotel. He came back the next morning and said, come to see us when you come back from New York. Well, they gave me a contract. Imagine that. Sure. On that book, I was supposed to update it. This is now 1969. Okay, I've been through the poverty of Egypt. I've been through the 1968 revolution area in France, and life had changed a lot. So after about 7 months of not coming through with the new book, these little caterpillars, which are always a symbol of hope, daring to believe that there's something like a butterfly inside, crawled off the cover and became Hope for the Flowers. And it was the day I experienced probably in my life a very quiet sense of not eating, not going to lunch, not doing anything, just finishing and writing that book. So it's very much like it was that first day. Most of the times I do things it's agony and rewriting. This was rewritten. This was a lot of things were changed, but not, I would say a lot, maybe 10%, but it was there. The full story was there. The transformation was there. The meaning of not climbing over other people, to get to a top and we don't know what's there. And all that stuff was then in that already. And so the meaning of it was there. And then I went through the struggles that people have with publishers. And finally then in 1972, in August, it was published. So we have 1 year now ahead of that publication date to celebrate Hope for the Flowers, because it already existed a year before it was published. And then we have that coming year. And so this is a very special time in Hope for the Flowers' life. And it's just been amazing and so gratifying and so moving to me to see the response of people all around the world. It's in a number of languages. It's just amazing how it seems to have touched people across all boundaries of age and religion and politics and nationality. And it is turned out to be a book, a classic book now for the world who work for unity and cooperation and sharing. Radical sharing is what I like to say. And so that's kind of how it happened. So I'm extremely grateful and thank you for allowing me to tell you this story. So that's the story of how it started. Nancy, did you want to say something? I saw you wave your hand.
I just wanted to say thank you for sharing, because I've heard parts of that story, but not all of it.
Well, anyhow, Egypt was an important part of it. And that whole, and I look back on my life now at 90 years and say, all these things that seem so hard have turned out to be so blessed for me. They've been transformed. Everything has been transformed into something wonderful. So here I am with my aches and pains and eye problems and my shaky hands and the stuff at 90, but I can walk and I can have some energy and I still have some sort of a mind left. And I'm very grateful to be able to do all that I'm doing right now. And that's why I'm making health my priority at the moment, so that I can have some good years ahead. And I hope that some of these problems will get fixed. And one of the other gifts that I have is I can pick up my organic food on the side of somebody's porch without any kind of COVID problems. That the nice box of fresh vegetables and stuff like that and fruits that I can pick up the Purple Dragon headquarters, and they're nearby. And so I've been so blessed during this COVID year that I've had work that I can do pretty much alone here. Now, I also have not had a chance
All right,
to,
Mister, I love you too, man. Bye.
I'd like to introduce again my Grail sisters in the Bronx there. They are a little community that's really very special for me. And so please say something to you folks there, because you're very special people. These are people who work with the UN a lot and bring people from around the world. And there's someone there that I don't see right now who's from Uganda, who's a real tech genius. Hi there, would you say something, tech genius?
Hey, happy birthday, Trina.
And then introduce yourself and say something about you. Who are you?
Yes. I'm Noella from Uganda.
Okay.
Yes.
And she's one of the people who organizes our 100th birthday of the Hope of the Grail, and she's one of the people who organizes the
So,
videos.
this is Sharon, and wishing you a happy birthday and a happy anniversary. And I've known you a long time. We've been walking the Grail path for many, many years, the ups and the downs. And we're still going. We're still going at it, thank God. So,
certainly are, aren't we lucky?
Yeah, so it's great to be here and celebrate y'all.
Thank you. And Mary Kay is right next to her, and she's one of these other treasures.
Well, thank you, Miss Treasure. Yes. Well, I have known you since 1962, October 1962, when we were in the year school at Grailville. And one of my memories of that year, since you were the art teacher, is when we were working in clay, and you have some beautiful statue there at Grailville, and this tall thing and the hands out like this. So I thought, of course, I could just make one. And you came to me and you said, you have to listen to the clay. You have to respect the clay. What does it want you to do. And that is a lesson that I've used on many things throughout life. So thank you, Trina, for all you are and all you've done.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
That's just
I
about
agree
the
with
time.
the person. I agree with the person who loves Adsum. I love that statue of Adsum. It speaks
Thank
to me
you.
so much. And I've also gifted it to many people around the world.
And Luke from South Africa was on at noon, which is wonderful. And some of these art pieces have been around the world too. And this was about the time, Mary Kay, that I was doing this art teaching. And here we were. And this image of the two.
For all you are and all you've done.
You're welcome. That's just
I
about
agree
the
with
time.
the person. I agree with the person who loves Adsum.
Oh, okay. So this image of the two hands, you take one of those hands away. That was done in 1963 for my first civil rights march. And we went in, we did those posters and we did piano keys. We did everything where black and white worked together. Like the piano keys are black and white, and tic-tac-toe was black and white. And we did all those things. And we carried 50 signs in, and the 30,000 people showed up for a civil rights march in Cincinnati. And those signs were a big help. So I always figured I don't go to any marches without a sign, because I had an awful experience a few weeks earlier when we were raising the UN flag. And some of us went in early. We were told that we would go in early and the mayor would be there and put the UN flag up. But he wasn't there at that time. And we were sort of wandering around. And then these women came, these older women came with this huge thing that must have been 15 feet wide. It was a big poster with a big American flag on it that said, "This is the only flag to which we pay allegiance." It was a part of the John Birch Society. And so, and my picture was taken in front of it without any sign of what I was standing for or anything I wanted. So I learned my lesson, and I wasn't ever going to go to anything. There's Lillian. My God, you got on, girl. Good for you. Thank you.
I finally got it, but I don't have a whole lot of earth-shaking things to say, except that I remember the wonderful times we had and all the things you taught me and everything. You were my first art teacher, and I have never forgotten it. I miss you a lot, but I think of you a lot, and as I said, I don't have a whole lot to say, except you inspired me to enjoy the meaning of life.
Thank you, Lillian. Lillian, it's so good to see you. I haven't seen you for decades.
Well, I think Kansas City was the last time we ran into each other. That was it. Long time ago. We
Yes.
were all young and full of energy. You're still young and full of energy.
Well,
You're
thank you. You look great. And so there you are, back in Taos.
back in house and struggling with the lack of water, with the desert, with trying to raise our own food, and it's very difficult. But we're working at it and trying to work with the Mexican immigrants that have come here and everything else that's going on. So this is where we're at. So
this is where the world is at, isn't it? The refugee issues that are going to be
and
greater,
it's
greater.
one small thing at a time is the way I look at it. So
I'm very grateful that Hope for the Flowers can give a message in the middle of all that.
it
to
can,
help,
and it has, and it will.
to help people stop climbing over others to
Yeah.
get to a top that isn't.
Well, that is a hard
useful.
lesson for this country to learn, I think. But
So we're in there.
but we're getting there. And this is my Carla.
Happy birthday, Trina.
Who's this?
I'm her daughter, Carla. Happy
You're
birthday.
Carla. Hello, Carla. I've never seen you before, I don't think, ever. I just know you from literature.
Well, I think Jihad was a year old when you visited us in Vegas. Carla was 3, and it was a
Hi.
long time ago.
That was a long time ago. I remember getting off the train in Vegas in the middle of the night.
Remember?
And I could not believe it because everything was open at 3 a.m. as I took a taxi to their home. I mean, it was like the middle of the day that people were in there with their slot machines and pulling their levers and doing everything. Oh,
That
gosh,
was another world. Yeah.
that was another world indeed. And I see Laura Kaplan is there too. Hello there, Laura Kaplan. She's another one of my Grail people from the current vintage.
He entertained a lot of people at that time. Is this David? No.
This is my brother John up on the top right corner. He's
John,
right
I saw that postcard you sent me about deer antelope in New Mexico, and you still owe me a quarter.
Me? I owe you a who owes you a quarter?
Yeah, because he said there were no antelope in New Mexico, and then I sent him pictures of it, and yeah, there were, and he bet me 25 cents that there were no. Yeah.
How long ago was that?
Oh, John, that
100
was
years.
Long time ago. When we were all young and beautiful.
You're still beautiful.
We're still beautiful, but a little bit.
I'm
not
going to
yet.
jump in here with a few things from the chat. The Porchistas, Alan must be here. Happy birthday, Trina. EMC Square, I don't know who that is. Happy born day, Trina. Lori Swenson, hope is one of my favorite concepts. Hope is not blind. It's open to opportunities and leaves you open to those opportunities. It's part of why I have loved your book for so many years. The story and the illustrations go together so perfectly. I just wanted to bring our folks here on the YouTube chat into our discussion, that's all. And I see Sharon and Noella and Mary Kay, and I don't know, every time I see these ladies, I'm waiting for a song. So, I mean, you know, I'm just saying, it is Trina's 90th birthday, you know, maybe. Who knows? Think about it.
We have one, actually.
Yeah, we have a song we wrote for Trina. We sort of wrote it for Trina.
We're ready.
It was written already. How do we get the words? Try to get the words on.
You share the words?
Yeah, share the words.
Yeah.
Nice you?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. And Noella is learning to play the guitar. The guitar is bigger than Noella, but she's only had they've only had a few lessons. Well, not lessons. I mean, I showed her 3 chords and she's just taken off. So what she does now, she's practiced. Maybe you've played 15 times. Okay.
All right, ready?
Okay. You are our sunshine, our only sunshine. You make us happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much we love you on this very special day. And now we drink you to sing your blessing.
start singing.
Thank you so much. I'm glad you sang that again. They sang it to me on the phone, but I didn't record it or anything. And so that's pretty special to have a new song. Okay. There's Laura here. Laura, hi. Laura's on our council, our Grail Council right now. And she's also on our Cornwall team, trying to save one of our places.
Oh, look, Alan's coming.
And Alan, you're on.
What up?
Privileged to have you here. So
Oh,
wonderful.
no, he's going again.
Well,
so exciting to be here with you, Trina, and on this very special occasion of your 90th birthday. I mean, that is quite an achievement. And I loved watching Marisol's presentation of you with pictures of you throughout your life and seeing all the happiness you've brought through so many people, through your spirit and through your talents, through your gifts, through your generosity. And it just seems like you beam an inner happiness and it just pours out of you naturally. And I wish we could all from the wellspring of your inner happiness and positivity about life. It's just a beautiful thing to see. And I feel privileged to know you. You are just one of a kind. And you've been helpful and generous to me throughout my life. I'll never forget when I was writing my dissertation and I was stuck and you invited me to come stay with you for a week. And it was just so, so helpful being around you and your energy and your supportiveness. And you helped spark me on my way. And I just think of you that way as just a living well of living water that I love to drink from, and you just give generously so we all can drink from it.
Thank you so much, Laura. Laura finished her dissertation, and as many people have a hard time after they finish their schooling to get a job, Laura got a full-time job at Pace College, right?
That's right. That's where I'm working today. Yes, I was very fortunate.
Isn't that wonderful? So she got that kind of teaching position, which is really special. And we have another full-time college teacher. That's Brian Ripley, who at least was on. And he's at Fairfield College. And he's the one who's been there so many years and helped give away books at 600 copies when that big murder thing happened at the school. And so he wrote to me, and we just thought we're going to raise books and raise money for books and give them to people. So the picture in all that big bunch of series where you see me with piles of books on the table, I was signing those books to send to Connecticut to give away for that horrible event to the people involved with it. So Brian was the person who helped that happen. So it's wonderful to see him again. And there's Alan Smith. Alan has been a long-term friend who also taught me how to make sauerkraut. And that's wonderful. I want that. I want some more sauerkraut because I don't do a very good job in the heat of the summer to do that without it molding. But Alan says it's a good time to do it because it ferments faster.
Yeah, Jihad, you want to help me make some sauerkraut?
Possibly.
How you doing? Long time no see.
Good, I'm good, man.
Good to see you. So I want to say happy birthday to Trina, who I guess I've known for almost as long as I've lived in Montclair, which is 2003. I've had some of the best front porch conversations I've ever had in my life, just sitting on Trina's porch or sitting on my porch, just talking about life and working through issues and talking about each other's lives. And Trina's like real life. I just saying this now, it's coming out of my head. She's like real life magic realism. Like you read those stories of people transforming into magical beings, and Trina's.
My gosh.
You're the butterfly lady, and but at the same time, just an accessible, great friend. And I'm really happy that I made it for your birthday. So
Thank you,
happy
Ellen.
birthday.
Thank you for doing that. By the way, he's in charge of a band called Porchistas because
Correct.
of their front porch. That's where they would practice and do a lot of performances right there on Forest Street. And people would come even to the street and listen to them
And
he,
the Hope for the Flowers song that played on the slideshow is his song. So he was the one that wrote Hope for the Flowers.
Well, when Trina doesn't remember this story, but at one point, like I had kind of got in a band and was starting to write songs, and Trina said, "I'd like you to try to write a song, but no promises." But because most of the time when people try to write Hope for the Flower songs, I don't know, they don't really always hit me. So I'm not saying I'm gonna like it. And I was like, but she said, but I think it should do something like hope for the flowers. So you actually wrote that part.
I did. I don't
Just
remember
that
anything.
part, and that was all you ever said. And then everything else, me and some friends wrote around it. So you actually wrote the first part of the chorus. So
Well.
whatever blows up, I might have to give you 3%.
Oh, no. You've
Just
given
kidding.
me 3% by he's given us the rights to use it for our videos and other things. And we've been challenged by the company that does that distribution a couple of times. We've won each time. You know, they didn't want us to use that song because it
If
was.
Hope for the Flowers, the song, ever actually made money, I would do whatever the hell you wanted me to do with the money. Of course I would.
Well, we'll see whatever happens. Who knows what can happen still.
Someone asked what the second song was, and that was Butterfly by Chimana.
Can they get hold of that too, Marisol?
They're both will be in the links to the replays. It'll link to their YouTube channels and the videos that they have there. So yes, both songs will be there.
So we have a very precious time here together. And so it's now 9 o'clock. So what do we want to do, Marisol?
I think we are going to end with your butterfly release and Alan's sing-along.
Oh.
How does that, this is on video. It's a virtual release.
When you see Alan sing along, you mean a recording of it?
Yes.
Okay, Alan, you don't have to do it. But Alan has been very generous. He comes to many occasions and he does it with his guitar or with a few other people. And he just is so generous always with his time and efforts.
I'd do whatever you want. It would probably be better on the recording, but I would gladly play it. But whatever you have planned is fine.
If you could play it, that would be even better. And we could sing along. I could mute the thing and the lyrics could pop up.
All right, it's Trina's 90th birthday. I'm singing. I'll be back.
That would be great. That would be special.
Different, isn't it?
And this release is just a 44-second. It's Trina and I in her front yard. And it actually was, that was a very big monarch. Wait, share sound this time so I don't forget. Okay, can you see the screen?
Yes.
The gift that you have been given, don't hide it, don't be shy. Happy birthday, caterpillar, you've become a butterfly. Butterfly. It took a while, so fly, fly.
To eat.
Yay, Trina.
Thank you. And Alan, are you back with your guitar?
Yeah, I'm gonna pull it up. Hold on one.
I just have to tune. I'm almost done.
Okay.
I think I'm in tune. Look at that. I am. So
Wonderful.
I'm playing Hope for the Flowers.
Yeah.
Okay,
Um,
so
Yes, hold on one second. Let me just pull this up so folks can see the lyrics. I just want to make sure before I share my screen that it is muted. Okay. Don't share sound this time. Unusual. Can you see the screen?
Yes,
I can.
I can.
Okay.
I know the words.
Wait.
Can
Why
you
is
hear
it
me?
playing? Hold on.
Yes.
Okay. Can you hear the guitar?
Yes.
Without butterflies, the world will have few flowers. Grow your wings and fly. Feed the plants and float by the river, and we'll be here by your side. Make great choices and take big risks if they're good for you and the rainforest. Sing really loud and don't be afraid. You are the stuff of which butterflies are made. Hope, hope, hope for the flowers. Transform, embrace, and realize your power. Bosque le necesita para vivir. Hope, hope, hope for the flowers. Transform, embrace, and realize your power. El bosque le necesita para vivir. Sometimes the pile that everyone's climbing up seems like the shiniest thing. Look in the eyes of the others you've been stepping on and wake to the light of all beings. Hope, hope, hope for the flowers. Transform, embrace, and realize your power. El bosque le necesita para vivir. Hope, hope, hope for the flowers. Transform, embrace, and realize your power. El bosque le necesita para vivir. Who's? Again.
But doesn't always busy too.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that instrument was.
Yeah. Shooting early.
Hope, hope, hope for the flowers. Transform, embrace, and realize your power. El bosque le necesita para vivir. Hope, hope, hope for the flowers. Transform, embrace, and realize your power. El bosque le necesita para vivir. Hope, hope, hope for the flowers. Transform, embrace, and realize your power. El bosque le necesita para vivir.
Thank you so much, Alan. Thank you, thank you. And when I think of that, even that phrase about the importance of the forest, and we think of the Amazon right now, giving off more contaminants that it's taking in because we have cut down so much of that forest and burned it. What a sad state of affairs. And may we turn that around and stop climbing over others and turn our minds to doing good and join in something that's really important to us. Each one of us can find something where we believe in and give our hearts to and form a community around that effort. So I'm so pleased to have you folks, you beautiful people in my life. This is my community. Much of my community is in Ohio, but my other community is built right here around this area, plus the community online that's growing, as we can see from this gathering on Zoom. And I'm so grateful also for Zoom. It's, you know, we don't need masks on Zoom. That's neat. And so we've been able to do that during COVID. It's come at a good time for us that we can communicate with each other and see some people we haven't seen for decades. So we have things to be grateful for even right now, and we can be happy in spite of the problems, which are so many in the world today, that we can find in our hearts and in those we love and around us, the joy that we're meant to have as humans, and change things that we can change, and join with others to change some of the big things and some of the structural problems. So thank you so much for enduring with me over all these years. Thank you for your people who are protesting. Thank you for your people in the Grail. Thank you for the people I work with right now. Thank you for all the people on this line. And thank you and the people who have joined the Hope Revolution group that Marisol set up. And we are going to have, I don't know if Scott wants to say something about it, but for the first time, we're going to have what we call a Patreon site. Up to this point, I've never wanted to do anything that had money involved with it. But we can do so much more with Hope and expand its reach if we had a little more money to pay the people who are doing the hard work. And we don't right now. So this Patreon site, that's the Patreon, patreon.com/Team Hope 50. Team Hope 50. Imagine that. We've just put it up today. It's brand new. And it's just.
And we've got 2 donors already, Trina.
We have
Oh, and by the way, Alan, you've got people saying encore, encore. So maybe at the end, before we leave,
we can
do
go
a couple
up.
of more chords.
Okay. Okay. And Alan, you
I
might.
just want to jump into the chat, Trina, before it takes off on me. Carolyn says it's a fabulous song. Mary Scotty said, thank you, so lovely. Carolyn wants to know who's Carol Alexander there in the middle. Carol, you're being awfully quiet over there. Pamela Lewis says, hope for the flowers inspired us. All butterfly angels are real. And Dan is saying, encore, encore. Pamela Lewis, gorgeous, Alan, amen, amen. Woo! Oh, dear sister, Carolyn, love you. And Mary Scotty, Trina, you are a loving, abiding resource of mining. How beautiful. And Carolyn is sending butterflies and hearts.
By the way, let's hear from Carol Alexander, because if she has something to say, if she wants to say something.
You've got to unmute yourself, Carol. Carol, can you unmute?
And while she's doing that, Mary and I decided, since we both live alone right now, that we both want somebody to talk to every night to make sure that we're not lying on the floor someplace. And so we call each other around 9 o'clock around this time and make sure that we're okay. So that's the person I do that with. She's walking distance from me, and we also share my car, my 1999 Camry. Okay, so that's what and she's also going to put Chickens and Foxes together as the formatted for us, so that we get that
You're
out.
talking about Mary, not Carol Alexander, just to be clear.
That's right. I'm doing Mary while Carol is getting herself unmuted. Maybe she's unmuted by now.
She is.
I think I am.
Okay. Yes, you are.
Okay.
Go for
Well,
it.
just wanted to say that it's a privilege and honor to be back here with you again from noon. And it's really, really nice knowing you. I appreciate you a lot. I love you, and you give me hope and encouragement to go on.
And Carol is a health worker who's getting a further certificate. That will make her able to do more stuff, and she wants to work with people to help them get better. And I've seen her at work a little bit, and it's been very beautiful to see. Thank you, Carol, for your dedicated work. That's for so many years.
You're welcome, and thank you too.
You're welcome. So we're parish people. So
And speaking of parish people, almost 30 years ago, I was pregnant with a little girl named Star who didn't make it. She had a cystic hygroma. So everyone at church saw me having a hard time with the pregnancy, and then they saw me that there was no baby. And Trina and I have interacted, but we weren't really close. And I just remember out of nowhere, Trina came over with her book, and that was the first time that I got my hands on Hope for the Flowers. And I was devastated. It was really hard to put one foot in front of the other. And I'm getting a little emotional, but she brought me that book, and it made me see that Star was in a better place. She went into that cocoon. She was in the loving arms of the Lord. And that book gave me so much hope and inspiration when I was at my lowest point. And that was the first time that I read Hope. And then I read the Hope to the kids. And my son was going through a really hard time at school. And Trina came over with a CD, and he would listen to her read him Hope for the Flowers. And he would play that CD all the time. And it was at a point where there was a lot of things going on, going against him. And they truly were going against him. And Trina seemed to be the only person that actually reached out to find out what was going on with him. And is he okay? And ask him what was going on, as opposed to listening to whatever craziness was out there. And he knew that as a 10-year-old kid, he was like, why was she the only one that asked me what happened? Why was she the only one that cared? Why was she the only one? And I will never forget that. To this day, my son says that Trina was his first girlfriend. He tells his wife, I'm sorry, but Trina's Trina, nothing you can do. It's my first love. I can't help it, So I mean, there's a big joke with my son and Trina in the house that was his first love, and that Krista just has to live with that.
And I didn't know all this, Marisol. I didn't know
they have a baby of their own now. She's 1 year old, and they're reading Hope to her too. But it meant everything to me when you came to me with that book. And then, so many years later, with Rafi, it was just amazing how that book saved me and my son, really, during a very difficult time in our lives. So we appreciate and love you so much. Your family, and we'd do anything for you, all of us. We love you.
You certainly have
so
come out like this, Gail. And one of the things that we have in common is that she's always used the stinging nettle from the yard. And so Rafi used to come over sometimes and pick it up. Sometimes I would deliver it. And we use it in all kinds of ways. So it's such a nourishing thing. So if any of you are nearby and want to use the stinging nettle, I love to harvest and give it to you and put it in a paper bag so you don't have to touch it, don't have to get stung. You can just dump it in your big pot and cook it up, and then strip the leaves off once it's cooked, because it's not stinging anymore. And then right now it's too old to eat the stems. So you take the leaves off and you make yourself a big pot of it, and you can drink the tea. So welcome to anybody nearby to get it. I could also send it in some dried packages if you really want it. So I dry it too, but the fresh stuff you can get from my backyard, and I will harvest it for you so you don't have to get stung, folks. I use heavy gloves, you understand.
We have a video, and people were like, she's getting ready to turn 90, and that's her on her hands and knees in the garden. Like, what? I'm like, yeah, in a couple of days she'll be 90. We took that video just a few days ago.
Well, Marisol has really put herself out to do all this. She did that whole picture thing, and she's done this wonderful thing, and I'm hoping that
you notice my background, Trina?
I do notice your background, Marisol. So thank you so very much for all your support and help.
Of
And so,
course,
Did
of
did
course,
Alan
it's
want
an
to
honor.
do we want to do a going out song with Alan again?
We do, but I would be remiss, I don't know if Una is still here, to not say how much she's done for Hope and for you throughout the years. And some of those images, a lot of the things that were happening was because Una was your right-hand man at the time. So your right-hand gal, I should say. So I just wanted to definitely shout out to all the wonderful things that she's done to help move Hope forward too.
Amen. And by the way, if you saw the picture of the little baby on the big monarch butterfly pillow with the shirt on, that was Una's baby that she had at the time that she was around here. And the shirt was something of a prototype that we were making for onesies by Gene Anderson, who might be on this call actually right now. He thought he would get on, but he has been a big, wonderful help. And so I'm very grateful for that too, for what Gene has done for us. And we look forward to a fruitful time for this next year and a half. I hope to get Chickens and Foxes out soon. And we have 2 sequels for Hope for the Flowers. And I hope to get my roof fixed and the porch fixed and my house cleared. And wow, that's a lot of stuff. And my legacy worked out, and probably that's a lot to do. So wish me the strength to do it and the wisdom and the help that it's needed. So bless you all, and thank you for coming to this wonderful thing. And for me, good night. And so I guess Alan is.
We love you, Trina. Happy birthday.
Bye, everybody. Thank you. Wearing soul.
And so Alan is going to play us out. Is that what we're doing?
Am I playing you out with Hope for the Flowers or something else?
I don't know, Alan. Are you inspired with something else?
Either Hope for the Flowers or a song about natural building that, why don't we just leave everybody's mute off and try something weird to end this? Maybe just end in chaos. So the song is called Waddling Fool. And if you want, the counterpoint is the same, the second half of every first line. So if I say, I'm a waddling, it's about natural building. If I say I'm a waddling fool, you'll say, he's a waddling fool. Machete's my only tool, his only tool. So just try to catch the counterpoint, okay? I'm a waddling fool. Machete's my only tool. I'm gonna build me a house out of clay and bamboo. The days are hot and long as I sing in this song.
As he's singing this song.
Gonna waddle and dive. Gonna stomp me some kind. I'm a waddling fool.
He's a waddling fool.
Time is on my side. I grow my food from seed. My clock's the moon and the time. I'm a waddling fool. I get my shade from the trees.
Shade from the trees.
Feed my clay from the ground. I build these walls from my knees.
Alan, did you build a house like that down in Costa Rica, didn't you?
I did build a house out of clay and bamboo in Costa Rica, a whole bunch of them, not just one, with my friends, yes. Yeah.
Yes, it's a place called, tell us about it a little bit, because that's pretty special.
It's called Rancho Mastatel, Rancho Mastatel, Mastatal. And if you wanted to go to the website, it's ranchomastatel.com. And it's in inland Central Pacific coast in a little town called Mastatel in the foothills of a La Cangreja National Park, a not frequented park because it's still kind of off the radar in Costa Rica, which is hard because most of Costa Rica is on, the tourist radar. And my friends started the 9/11. They crossed the Mexican border driving to Costa Rica the day after 9/11, 20 years ago, and started an education center. And it's just building. It's turned into one of the most sort of recognized and reputable sustainable living and natural building education centers in the world. And we've built a lot of houses out of clay. We used to use a lot more cow manure, but lately they have enough clay. They don't really need to use the cow manure. So we just use clay and bamboo and straw and different natural building techniques.
That's awesome. You had a lot of folks, you had Dan singing along with you here on the chat. I could see.
Nice.
I could
Thanks,
see he's a
Dan.
waddling fool. He's a waddling fool from his side from seeds. So he
Nice.
had your back over there. He had your back.
Thanks, Dan. So thank you for letting me sing. I wasn't expecting to, or didn't feel like I had to. So I appreciate the
It's a
opportunity.
wonderful gift. Thank you.
Yep. Welcome.
Well, Marisol.
And everybody, if we could all unmute ourselves and just scream happy birthday to Trina one last time before we end this. Happy birthday,
Birthday,
Trina!
Trina!
Thank you,
Happy birthday!
Thank you. Thank you. What a marvelous experience. It's almost too much to take, but I'm very grateful for all your love. And
We shall do it in 10 more years.
That's right.
well, let's go year by year and see how it goes.
Let's do it every year.
Yeah, we need to do that, and that I get done what God still wants me to do, and that I get the energy and the strength and the health to keep doing it. Amen.
Amen.
Night, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Happy birthday, Trina. We love you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Nighty night.
Bonsoir.
Thank you,
Trina, how are
Marisol.
you feeling, Trina?
I'm a little overwhelmed, you might imagine by now, and extremely grateful for you, Marisol.
Oh, you had a lot of wonderful people turn out to wish you a happy birthday. That was wonderful.
And there's
Phil, your brother.
and there's my brother,
Marisol.
which is wonderful, and Marisol and Phil. Thank you for staying on, and my son is here, so
Shout out to all the folks on YouTube. Thank you.